Angle you see here, it's a right angle, and we have A, B, and C. And the way that I can name this angle or classify this angle is a couple of different ways. I can write A, B, C. I can write angle C, B, A. The important part when I'm listing it with these letters is to make sure that the vertex are right here. This point where these two rays meet their endpoint is in the middle of my letters. I also can name this angle 1, or I can just name it angle B, because that is the important point of this angle. So that's going to be helpful for us later on. And anytime that I see this M next to my angle B right here, so this says the measure of angle B. And so what I'm going to do is, I see this the box or the square being made, so I know that this is a 90-degree angle. And remember, the M is saying the measure of angle B is equal to what? So they want an actual number, they want the degree that it's equal to. Alright, the first part of 7-1 is talking about vertical and adjacent angles. So those two things, there are just a few things to keep in mind to help us out, but I'm going to list this right here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Adjacent angles are angles that share a common side, or a common line segment. Okay? So this is a common side for these two angles. And so I would write angle 1 and angle 2 are adjacent angles because they share this common side right here. This right here is a common vertex and common side. So you also can see other adjacent angles in here. I would say angle 2 and angle 3 are also adjacent, and there are others, but we don't have to list out all of them. So that's adjacent where they share a common side. Now, I'm going to try to erase the blue here. That did not work. That's okay. So, back with our original one, vertical angles can also be considered opposite angles, and they're going to be ones that are across from one another. And there's also something important about vertical angles. So, 1 and 3 are across each other from this vertex. 4 and 2 are also across. So, vertical angles, in this case, I would say are angles 1 and angles 3, angles 4, and angle 2, because they're across from one another from the vertex. Something important that's going to be interesting later on is that vertical angles are also congruent, meaning that they have the same measure. So not only are angle 1 and angle 3 vertical angles, they are also equal to one another. So if, for example, you knew that angle 1 was equal to 100 degrees, you also know that the measure of angle 3 would be equal to 100 degrees. So vertical angles are equal. Adjacent angles aren't, but vertical angles are equal.